So, what would you want your story to be about tonight?
About a bear
Hmm.
that loved that one day he was in a race and he was driving a race car in the race.
A race kind of race.
He won.
Hmm. This is the story about a very clever bear. This bear noticed that in the woods there had been a contest organized, and the contest was quite unusual. And it went like this: to all the animals in the land, we invite you to fulfill our challenge. And our challenge is that you have to win a race, but this is going to be an inverse race. It isn't who arrives first that wins, but who arrives last that does. And everybody was like, well, that's easy. I'm just going to sit on my ass and do nothing. But turns out that there was a secret. This race happened in winter. So if you sit around and do nothing, you just freeze to death. Therefore, it was an endurance race. Whoever could hold out the cold the most would win. And the prize was an amazing bicycle with no training wheels, which the bear really, really wanted. And so he figured, I'm going to use my bear skills. And he signed up for the reverse race. And so when everybody arrived for the race, you could see the rabbit, and the rabbit had like 3 coats on top of him, and he had socks, and he had goggles and everything. He looked like he was prepared to withstand the winter for a long, long time. And then there was a monkey, and the monkey has stolen humans' jackets and socks and shoes and winter gear. Oh gosh, he looked like an astronaut. He was so ready. And then you had the cockatoo, and the cockatoo had gathered together all of its feathers that had been falling throughout 2 years, and had built himself a huge coat out of his own feathers from 2 years. So he looked like he was the most protected of them all. And then you had the bear. Guess what the bear had?
What?
Nothing. And everybody was, ha 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 ha. You're not gonna last 10 minutes. Ha 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 ha. And so, when it was time to start the inverse race to see who would last the longest, there was a lot of tension. The whole forest gathered together who was going to win that bicycle. And the cock said, "Grr, grr, grr, grr," and they were off to the races. And everybody took off running to heat up themselves. And the bear was like, oh, walking very slowly. And the other participants were running everywhere, trying to get as far away as possible. And the bear was like, do I like this tree? No. Do I like this tree? No. And meanwhile, the other participants were already far away in the distance, almost tripping with branches by trying to outrun the cold. And the bear was like, do I like this tree? No. And so he did that for like 83 trees. When after about 6 hours of this, the bear was like, do I like this tree? No. Wait. Yes, I like this tree. And he sat down on the tree, which had a big hole inside. He curled up in a little ball and decided to take a nap. Little did the other contestants know that the bear had went into hibernation. Well, when the uh, parakeet arrived last, winning the contest, allegedly, at least that's what he thought, nobody saw the bear. And so they waited. They all thought, well, the bear is going to come any moment now. He's going to be the winner of the bicycle. But the bear didn't show up. And so everybody was surprised, amazed. Oh, the bear can withstand the cold so much. That's amazing. But after a day passed, and 2 days, and 4 days, and 5 days, he didn't show up. So a search party was organized to hunt for the bear, to see if he was alive, he was well. And they looked and looked, but they missed the hole inside of the 86th tree, where the bear not only was sleeping, but was now mostly covered in snow. So it was almost invisible unless you poke your hand inside of the hole. So nobody found him, and after 15 days, they declared the bear lost in the woods forever. And they gave the bicycle to the parakeet, which, although it was a bitter, sweet moment because he was sad that the bear had been lost to the winter, he was happy to have a new bicycle. And so the new parakeet was riding his bicycle everywhere now when suddenly spring came. And in spring, the first rays of the sun started melting the snow. A few flowers started growing. The insects started coming back. And the bear slowly woke up from his long, long nap and went to claim his bicycle. But when he arrived in town, everybody was gone. Of course he was gone. The race had finished 3 months ago. What was he expecting? And so he started looking everywhere. And finally, he went to see the place where he had signed up for the contest. And when they saw him, they thought that he had come back from the dead. The whole town was amazed. And the parakeet came and said, "Here's your bicycle." And so that's how the bear tricked the town on a reverse race that he won the bicycle in. The end. That's too bright. Can you make it less bright?
This is less bright. I can make it.
Okay.
It's still super bright. So I'm going to turn it off.